Let's talk about housekeeping.
Right. As I alluded to earlier, quite subtly, I finished.
Yeah, you dropped some hints.
I finished Gilmore Girls season 7. It's great. Amanda, like the thing is, both Amanda and someone else, I think Dave K, I think it was, on Twitter, were both like, "Oh, there's a season of Gilmore Girls that's not good." And there was a load of issues with season 7, like behind the scenes. So the creator and the writer for the first 6 seasons basically had to step down for season 7 because the show like moved networks or something, or like something happened with the networks. The show had to move. I don't think it was even like moving network. It was like the network like created a new channel or something, and they wanted to move Gilmore Girls to it. Some weird thing like that happened. The writer was trying to like negotiate like more money. They were like, nah. And basically the creator was put on as like an executive producer, but they brought someone else in to write this season.
Okay.
As someone who had never watched Gilmore Girls until Amanda recommended it, and then I just went and watched all 7 seasons, I felt like the 7th season, despite being told, oh, it's like really different and it's really terrible and it's really bad, I didn't see that. I thought it was like, it was a little bit different, but it was definitely in keeping with Gilmore Girls. It was like what I had grown to expect from the show.
Yeah.
So I super enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I enjoyed all 7 seasons. There were certain like storylines here and there that I didn't particularly like too much. And funny enough, most of those weren't in season 7. So I don't know what people's issues are with season 7, to be honest.
Well, are you sure it's season 7 that they were talking about?
Yeah, because I asked Amanda and she kind of verified that it was. But yeah, like I think a lot of it was just like the loyalty. So like people were obviously loyal to the creator and the main writer. So when all that stuff behind the scenes happened, people who were loyal to her kind of felt like they'd been a bit dicked over.
Yeah, no, that's fair, because you get that with some shows.
Yeah.
I've had that where like a writer's been, or not even the writer, like the creator's been moved off or whatever, and you're like, what?
Yeah, I totally understand it, but I just as a kind of like innocent bystander just watching this show, I didn't really notice the quality of season 7 drastically dipping or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was all good. And then obviously I did Gilmore Girls Year in the Life, and that was also all good, as you've already heard.
Yep.
Just repeating myself now. But what I want to know, Ellie, is when are you going to kind of get back into Gilmore Girls?
Once I finish Star Trek.
I would recommend it.
I know, yeah, I'm going to.
Well, I hope so.
I'm going to.
Well, you know, I've got high hopes.
But Star Trek's come back, and I'm watching that.
Yeah, space and shit. Of course you're watching that.
I mean, Star Trek is like obviously space and shit. It's called Star Trek.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, like,
you like Star Trek, don't you?
I've only seen the first season of the original
Oh, that's right.
series.
You were going to watch Star Trek, and then you fucked yourself by insisting on watching the original series.
Some of it's good. It's just
it's not as good as any of the other seasons, though. Is the issue?
Do you mean any of the other series?
Yes, I get confused with series and seasons.
Well, technically, a series is what like UK people call seasons, but I think in the case of Star Trek, it does work in that, you know, you've got like this different
the next
like,
gen series,
yeah, exactly,
which has however many seasons.
Yeah, exactly. You've got like Voyager, Deep Space Nine. Is there another one that I'm forgetting?
Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, original series, that Enterprise, I think it was called.
That's
like,
right. Yeah. And there was
now
the animated
Discovery
series as well. Don't forget.
I never saw the animated series.
You didn't see the original, either, if I remember rightly.
I've seen bits of the original though.
The thing with the original, it's not that it's bad.
It's cheesy.
No, it's not even that it's cheesy. It's that it's such a different way of TV than what we're used to nowadays, where we're used to these like overarching storylines. We're used to the episodes like leading into each other. Whereas the original series was very much, you could jump into any episode. You didn't need to watch previous ones to understand what was going on. And it was all like self-contained stories that were neatly kind of tied off by the end of the episode.
To be fair, Liam, Next Gen does the same thing.
Yeah, I thought
Next Gen has some overarching stuff, but like you can easily just drop into any Next Gen episode and be like, oh,
yeah,
I get it.
It really was like mid-90s where that kind of started changing. Like a sort of Buffy around that time was when you started getting these overarching stories.
Yeah.
I think Next Gen came out just slightly before Buffy, I think. Like early 90s, wasn't it?
No, I'm not sure, but probably.
Yeah. I still want to get back into it. I'm really jealous because I think Amanda is on a podcast where they're going through and they're talking about each episode. And I kind of, again, I wish I'd had that idea because that would have given me that incentive to stick with it. Yeah. There's a lot of podcasts that I'm just jealous of the idea of them.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's worth going and doing Discovery because you don't need, because it's like a prequel to all of it.
Yeah.
Like
I've heard it's really good as well.
It is, and like since it's come back from its season break, it's just got better.
How did we get onto Star Trek through housekeeping? Oh, Gilmore Girls. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got you.
Also, I'm housekeeping Star Trek because I've mentioned it on here before.
Cool.
But yeah, go watch Star Trek, Liam.
Yeah, we got some tweets.
Read them out to me. Tell me what the people have said.
Yeah, because you clearly can't be trusted to do Twitter.
I've done some Twittering.
No, but like not even on your own personal account is what I'm getting at.
Oh, right, yeah, you're insulting me because of the fact that I didn't follow Amanda.
Because, like, you know, one of our most dedicated, long-time listeners, you couldn't even be bothered to follow them from your own personal account.
I don't use Twitter.
And people think that I'm the terrible co-host here.
Well, the issue, Liam, is that I don't use Twitter at all.
I mean, here's going to come all the excuses.
Yeah, no, it is an excuse. That's what this is.
Yeah, because
obviously.
Because you
I
say,
mean, what else could it be? It wasn't going to be a fucking rebuttal. It's an excuse.
Yeah, you say that you don't use Twitter, but then you also said that one of the reasons why you didn't follow her back is because you've tweeted her in the past from your personal account without really thinking.
Yeah, because you tell me to do it.
You shouldn't need to be told.
So, like, you know how Twitter gives you notifications and it's like someone's mentioned you.
Yeah.
I don't have that turned on. You are my notification.
Maybe
button.
you should turn it on.
You occasionally text me and go, "Yo, Ellie, have you seen that Amanda's been talking to you for like 20 minutes and you haven't responded?" And I go, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
and I go talk to her.
Rude. Lee Brady, friend of the show, he's been on. Go listen to his episode. It was earlier. He tweeted, "Now listening to Nerd on Nerd, who I just remembered released a new episode, so I'm a little behind. Here's to optimism." And then he said, "Lots of optimism needed for this one. Sorry about the bad eye-related news, Liam. Hopefully positive news in the future. Coping better with disclosure on air than I ever would, at least. Ha ha ha." Thanks, Lee.
I was waiting for you to respond to that because that's not really.
Yeah, no, I was just like, yeah.
I can't answer that one for you, Liam.
No, I was just thinking, like, what's the correct response?
Fair enough.
There we go. It's thanks, Lee.
Nice, Liam.
It's weird that I've been put in charge of the social stuff when I'm like the least social person
I don't think you're the least social.
out of the two of us.
I don't think you're the least social out of the two of us.
When did you last see Friends?
No, I'm more social with the people I know. You're better at you care less about what people think about you.
That's true. Amanda
just
tweeted us saying,
Yeah.
"Enjoyed your top 3 choices and anticipated entertainment for 2018. I can't wait for Jessica Jones. Would love to hear a full top 10 or even top 5. Hint, hint. And Ellie, I also loved Your Name and we're glad to do a Your Name Is podcast with you." Right, there's a lot to discuss here. So let's start off with the... She said she'd love to hear a full top 10 or even top 5. Is that of our like top choices or of our anticipated things?
I think it's... if I remember rightly, this has jogged my memory. I think on one of the previous podcasts where we did a top list,
Yeah.
we did on the show 3,
Yeah.
but we then tweeted our full top 10s.
Oh, maybe.
I've sort of got a vague recollection of you saying to me you still haven't tweeted your top 10 video games.
That's the thing is, I don't think I've played 10 video games in the kind of...
No, I might... no, I probably have played 10, but it would be like low enough that...
I couldn't do a
it would
top
just
10
be-
is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even with TV, I think I'd struggle to do a top 10 TV because I watched a lot of like long form stuff.
Yeah.
Like 7 seasons of Gilmore Girls. That took I think the Amanda show was October time.
Here come the excuses, listeners.
No, not an excuse. I'm just saying from October to literally a couple of weeks ago was just Gilmore Girls non-stop. So
Sounds like an excuse.
that's like what 3 months gone to one show.
Make time.
I can do my top 10 movies.
Obviously. I mean, that's... You could do a top, like, 50.
Well, no, I could do my top 10 of 2017.
I mean, you could also do a top 50 because you literally store all your reviews, so you could just order it by rating.
All right, so here's the question. Would you like my top 10 of 2017, or would you like my top 20 that were new to me of 2017? So movies that I hadn't seen before 2017, not necessarily
Sorry,
movies that were
I don't
released.
want either.
Maybe that's a better question for Amanda.
Tweet them to her. I don't want them on here.
In number 10...
You were so confident that I would want this.
So my top 10 of 2017, I'm just going to do it real quickly.
Oh my god, really?
Real quickly. It's also...
While you're doing that, I'm going to just Google some stuff and occasionally drop facts about, I don't know, ancient Babylonians.
Right, so I just got to caveat this. I go by IMDb release dates, just because that makes my life easier. It's really annoying the fact that the UK gets a fair amount of 2017 releases like a bit later. So like for example, I know in America they've already got like Lady Bird and Call Me by Your Name. While Call Me by Your Name has already had a cinematic release in the UK, it was like really limited, so I didn't get it in my local cinema, so I haven't seen that yet. Lady Bird hasn't been out yet. Shape of Water hasn't been out yet. I, Tonya hasn't been out yet. All of these I'm very hopeful for, and they could potentially end up on my top 10. So I'm
actually going to take my headphones out and go and get a drink. I have one on my bed, so you just keep talking to the listeners. I'll drop back in a second.
Cool. So this is just my top 10 of 2017. ... So far. While Ellie's away, this is a great opportunity for us to, just say she's a shit co-host, and it's okay if you're a Liam. That's fine. So in at number 10 we have The Disaster Artist. James Franco was good. It's been a bit sort of soiled by all of this like sexual harassment stuff at the moment. But if you just look at the performance, amazing. And I think, his direction was fine as well. Like, nothing to particularly write home about, but it was fine. I did a special episode on Amanda's Picture Show A Go-Go where we talked about The Disaster Artist because Zac Efron was in it. Anyway, that was number 10. Number 9, it's a film I haven't really seen a lot of people talking about, and I don't know why. It's called Only the Brave. I really enjoyed it. You might remember my spoiler-free review of it where I was just like raving about it. No one really listened to that and went off to watch it, so you've only got yourself to blame. It's got Miles Teller in it. I like him. He's good. Number 8, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It was a good year for comic book movies. There'll be more of those coming up. Number 7, The Big Sick. Really enjoyed that. 6, Logan. Oh, look, another comic book movie. That was good. 5, Dunkirk. I enjoyed that. That was more of like a spectacle movie though. Like there wasn't really a lot of story there. It was a good time. 4, Kong Skull Island. Did another special. Did that with Ellie actually, where we guested on the Atlantic Screen Connection podcast. I had very different feelings to Kong Skull Island as to what the other 3 people on that podcast had. So go listen to that if you basically want to hear me get shouted down by other people. And then the top 3, you heard on the last episode, hopefully, but just in case you didn't, we had Thor Ragnarok, Spider-Man Homecoming, and obviously my favourite movie so far of 2017, The Greatest Showman. I'm still listening to the soundtrack. It's fantastic. That was Liam Underwood's top 10 of 2017, ... so far.
You done?
For now.
Cool.
So, my top 20 new to me of 2017. And I won't go through that. Amanda, if you want that, tweet us and I'll squeeze it into the next episode. Some of those entries may surprise you.
Any other contact?
Oh shit, yeah. Sorry, I forgot we were doing that.
Yeah, I thought you might have.
So you responded saying... Oh yeah, because we haven't finished even breaking down this.
No, yeah.
So yeah, Amanda wanted to do the Your Name Is podcast with you.
Yep, and I said that I would do it with her. And
she said, yes! And I already have one friend who would listen because we saw the movie together and he also loved it. So, boom. Your Name Is ... average.
Mean.
What else? Oh yeah, so then Amanda was like, hey Ellie, I just went to send you a DM, but apparently you aren't following me on Twitter. A reminder of why Liam runs the Nerd on their Twitter. I can message you on Facebook instead if you prefer. And then I think I
responded to that. I don't use Facebook either.
Amanda said, like, at least the revelation didn't happen on air like it did with Lee.
Yeah, that was more embarrassing.
Yeah. Anyway, then we had a bit of a discussion about all that.
Yep.
That was it.
There we go.
We were mentioned ready? On... So the Zack Attack guys have started a new podcast called Boyfriend Material about the films of Ryan Gosling. Again, you know how I was just saying, like, I'm really jealous of like podcast ideas, like the Star Trek one. This is another one of the ideas that I'm really jealous of.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea. We've got our equivalent.
Yeah, I'm waiting for you to start it.
Okay, I'm ready whenever. We know what we've got to watch.
No, the first episode wasn't us watching anything, if you remember. It was going to be like the history of them, how you came about discovering them. You were going to do a little bit of like introduction to what this show's going to be. Do you remember? And you were like, I've got to do some research into the history before I can do it.
Fine.
So yeah, still waiting on you for that one. But yeah, we got a shout out, so thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Everyone should go listen to their stuff.
They don't listen to us, but that's okay.
Don't call them out.
Well, they won't listen, so they won't hear that.
Well, I'm going to maybe delete that because it's weird.
Alright. Well, I'm just saying, like, if they listen, they would know that you're Ellie.
You're not. Stop trying to start beef with people.
Maybe that'll get us more listens.
There's not like a. I don't know if there is a podcast sort of community like that, like on YouTube, where you can just start beef with random people.
It should be.
No, I'm glad there isn't.